You've stumbled across an old, battered book and found yourself drawn into an alternative reality, a surrealistic adventure, a game called Myst. A world unlike anything you've ever seen before. As you explore this world, you'll learn from the books of an ancient civilization and find that Myst was created by a man who perfected the art of transporting gamers to fantastic worlds. Myst, reflecting the past, embracing the future.
When we decided to make Myst, we made a conscious effort to take the idea of building places, building unique worlds, and add purpose and story and a certain level of sophistication that would appeal to an older audience, that was aimed at an older audience. It was surprising and satisfying when Myst was actually appealing to a much broader group than what we had planned, and being just so shocked that we had so misunderstood how many people would respond to, the simple idea of exploring a fantastic place. Robin, my brother, was always interested in art and music, and so we kind of teamed up and decided we would pool our skills and try and build these kind of places. We quit our real jobs and decided to do this for a living. We did something that no one could guarantee, in fact a lot of people were scared of, but no one could guarantee would be successful. But we did it because we liked it. Myst was kind of innovative in that it was one of the first very successful games that you didn't die in. People respond well to that, and so we look at that as a feature these days. You don't have to start over, you don't die. It's more about the exploring than about forcing you to start over so that you can complete the gameplay. The process for creating the games is a very iterative one. There's a lot of back and forth on a lot of different levels. The entire creative process is, I've got to say this, it is at least as much work as everything else. You sit down to develop a character or the storyline. We're very intent on making the graphics as realistic as possible. Whether it's still images or real-time images, there has to be an essence that they feel real, because we want to convince you you're in a real place. We start with the history and the idea behind why this place is here, and we actually add gameplay to that. The sound in general is incredibly important to our games. It always has been. We're so used to sound as a way of shaping the environment that without sound the environments are just flat. We've always gone to great extremes to try and add in realistic sounds, and we're just as particular with the sounds as we are with any of the graphics and the story and the gameplay. At the essence, at their core, people love to explore. And I think that there's something about human nature that responds to exploration, to going to new places. And Myst had some kind of an essence of tugging on that particular aspect of human nature. It's reassuring to know that you can have a vision that doesn't fit the mold, and every now and then it just happens to be what a lot of other people also enjoy. We have an incredible fan community with Myst, with the whole franchise. The fans have just been incredible. And I think they actually shape us and our product design more than they even know, both directly and indirectly. Directly because we watch what they do. We always have. Even with the early Myst games, we would sit behind people and watch them play, see what they did, see if they responded the way we thought they would, and then adjust things accordingly. If I was to look at each individual game, I think Myst is the one, obviously, that I'm proud of our ability to innovate. I mean, at the time, we didn't look at it as innovation. We looked at it as just doing what we wanted to do. But I guess that's what I'm proud of. We did what we wanted to do, and it was successful. It actually was so successful that it opened up the idea that the mass market audience might actually be entertained with computers. And I think that's very satisfying. I think with Riven, I'm most proud of the fact that it was so real. We spent an unbelievable amount of time and effort into making that into a real place with the story and the environment. Exile although we didn't directly do the game, I think Presto Studios did an incredible job of putting their own soul into the product, and at the same time maintaining that legacy that we had built on. It's never been satisfying for us to just make another follow-up in the Myst series. We want to try and make something different and unique and interesting. So Uru gives us a chance to bring the whole idea of exploring in a world to real-time 3D. We've experimented with that a little bit, but we've never really done it with a very unique new product, and Uru is that product. You can wander through them, go anywhere you want to, and yet still keep that quality, that photorealistic quality that we started with in the original Myst. We are attempting some things on a scale that any sane person wouldn't necessarily attempt. Some of that has to do with our vision and our people and their ability to want to do something different, to define where interactive entertainment goes instead of just resting on our laurels or doing what someone else has done before us. We've always done first person. All of our other games have been first person. You never saw yourself. So when it came time to do Uru, once again, we had to revisit that question and say, okay, well, you know, what are we going to do now? Uru, because of its technology changes, presented some unique twists on that, because it now was in real-time 3D, and so you could see yourself in the world. You could see yourself moving around, so the potential was there to do that wasn't there in our previous ones. The other thing that enters into the equation is the multiplayer aspect. When you first get Uru, you can play it just like you did Myst, Riven, and Exile. You can explore through the world on your own, have that same kind of solitary experience that people liked so much in the previous products. But beyond that, you can decide to explore with other people and expand the world. In Uru as well, the world can be dynamic. It's real-time 3D, so that means that things can change. The weather can be much more realistic than anything we could do before. The water can be realistic. Your ability to affect the environment can be realistic, leaving footprints. I mean, all the things that we've never been able to accomplish. And all of those things that I just mentioned open up the ability to tell the story a little bit better and to give you pieces of gameplay that enhance things to make it, once again, feel like a real place, which has always been our goal, just to make places that seem real. I think there's a couple things that the fans will like. I think the first is the fact that they get to go to Dunny. And anybody who knows our stuff a little bit deeper level knows that Dunny is someplace you want to go. There's so much rich history to that is just waiting to be discovered. I would like to think that the fans would also respond well to the idea that the journey can continue, that finally they don't have to wait for the next episode to take 2 or 3 years for us to work on, but that every evening they can come back and meet their friends and talk to their friends and play little games and explore new places with their friends. And I think that's all about people and people exploring together. The idea of continuing content means that there are no limits and there is no ending. And you've got to think that, as difficult as that sounds, to crank out content on a regular basis, that's one of the most exciting aspects of this product. People, as they wander through the world, they wonder what's around the next corner. Well, what if there is always a next corner? That is an incredibly exciting future for interactive entertainment. And who knows, I mean, maybe the whole industry gets shaped a little by what we've done moving forward. That's an exciting proposition. The word Uru means city in Sumerian. It also has a side meaning of deep. And of course, anybody who knows our storyline knows it has to do with that deep city. One of the nice side lines of that name is just how it's spelled, U-R-U. It represents what we've always done with our worlds, which is not make you play a role-playing game where it force you into being somebody you're not. You really are you in this place. And so that also is a nice little sideline of the name itself. Uru gives us the ability to essentially make a never-ending story. And I should preface that by saying that for interactive entertainment, that seems so revolutionary, you know, that we're going to make content forever. We're going to keep making content for Uru so that every time you come back, you'll find new ages to explore, new places to go. The story keeps growing. The worlds keep growing. And that's what Uru will offer beyond the single player experience.